but you have to take a small displacement, not like a large displacement. So every instant you will get the work done is 0. So V bar I can write down ds bar by dt. So ultimately centripetal force is perpendicular to the instantaneous displacement. Then what the work done by centripetal force is, as force and force and displacement are perpendicular to each other, what the work done by force will become 0. So work done by centripetal force also will be 0. Okay, na? And moreover, you can, if you want to go more into it, if you are going more into it, okay, na? Yeah, if you are going more into it, it is moving with constant speed. What is the meaning of constant speed? Constant speed tells that tangential acceleration is 0. That implies tangential force is 0. As tangential force is 0, there will be only one force acting, that is centripetal. So because of centripetal, total work done is 0. Okay. So if speed is not constant, then answer won't be 0. Why? Because they're not asking for work done by centripetal force. They are asking simply the work done in completing a full circle. Work done means work done by all forces you have to take, total work done. Okay, not only centripetal force, you have to take tangential force also. But here they have given that constant speed. Constant speed stands for what? No acceleration along the tangent and no force acting along the tangent. So as there is no force acting along the tangent, there is only one force acting, which is centripetal. Then work done by centripetal force is 0. Clear? Done? Okay. So that is the one thing I don't know how many of you observed. Next, when an unbanked road is dry and the coefficient of friction is mu, the maximum speed of the car in a circular path is 10 meters per second. So on unbanked road means horizontal road, straight road. Okay, in horizontal road, what is the maximum speed? Maximum speed should be V should be less than root mu r g. Am I right? Am I right? V should be less than root mu rg, or maximum speed is equal to root mu rg formula. Yeah. So what is the maximum speed is given on a dry road is 10 meter per second. So this is 10 is equal to root mu rg. Okay, na? If road becomes wet, road is becoming wet, you can take like that's a rainy day. Okay, rain was there, so that what happens, road become wet. So because road wet, then what happens to coefficient of friction? Decreases. So now coefficient of friction is becoming mu by 2. Mu by 2 is the coefficient of friction. If mu by 2 is the coefficient of friction, what is the maximum speed they're asking? Again, formula, we can apply the formula. So now V dash is the maximum speed, root of mu by 2 r into g. Okay, na? So I have one formula here. I mean, I have one equation, other equation. So I can write down V dash by 10 is equal to root of mu by 2 rg by root mu rg. Root mu rg cancel out. This will be 1 by root 2. Then V dash is equal to how much? 10 by root 2. 10 by root 2 is nothing but I can write down 5 into 2 by root 2. Then 2 by root 2 will become root 2. Then it is 5 root 2. 5 root 2 meter per second. That is V dash. Okay. Understood? So the answer is 5 root 2. All of you understood this thing? Just we need to apply the formula. See, once you know the theory, it is very easy to approach the questions. So that's why I keep saying that revise the theory well, so that you will remember the formulas. You can apply the formulas in a questions and all. You can solve it happily. This is also a good one. The speed of a particle moving in a circle is increasing. Speed is increasing. The dot product of its acceleration and velocity is okay. See, I told you I was
Sir,
Vasu
sir,
Cheppama.
show before question, sir.
Okay, Rasnara.
Okay, sir.
Okay, okay. Write down. Sorry.
Completed, sir.
Very good. Yeah. Next question. The speed of the particle is increasing in circular path. What is the meaning of speed of the particle is increasing in circular path? That means if a particle is in circular path, and we know that there is a centripetal force which will act towards the center. This is fixed, compulsory. Now, how the velocity is? Let us say velocity is in this way. This is the velocity direction. So rotating in clockwise sense. Particle is rotating in clockwise sense. The speed value increases. When it will increase? It will increase whenever force, tangential force is acting. Tangential force is acting in the direction of this velocity. Whenever force and velocity are in the same direction, then what happens to the speed? Speed continuously increases. Speed is increasing. Okay, na? Speed of the particle is increasing. Increasing is nothing but force and velocity. Velocity should be in the same direction. But which velocity, which force? Like velocity is tangential only. So tangential force should be in the same direction. Should be in the same direction. I told you already this part. Tangential force can have two directions. One is along the velocity, other one is opposite to velocity also. Along the velocity, speed increases. Opposite to velocity, speed decreases. I've given different cases in theory part. Once you can verify it if you want. Now this is the velocity vector. Now this is the one force, this is the other force. Two forces are acting. Then what is the net force acting? Net force will be something this. This is the net force direction. Okay, na? Net force is nothing but net acceleration also. Net force direction and net acceleration direction is same, no? It's acceleration and velocity they're asking. Okay, na? So I'll draw the other diagram. So this is the circular path, let us say, and particle is moving somewhere here. What is the net acceleration is? Net acceleration would be something like this. This is the net acceleration. Net force and net acceleration are in the same direction, net acceleration, because these are the two forces. Resultant of those two forces, resultant of two vectors is always in between those two vectors. And what is the velocity direction is? Velocity direction is something this. Then what is the angle between these two? Angle is less than 90. We don't know exact angle, but we can say that less than 90. Okay, na? The angle between acceleration and velocity is less than 90. Then what is the dot product? Dot product is positive, negative, that only they are asking. Dot product is A bar dot V bar is equal to A into V into cos theta. So which theta is less than 90. Theta is less than 90, then this value definitely positive. There is no question of negative. Okay, na? So it should be positive only. Understood? See, looks like question is little like simple, but you have to think better in the question, then only will answer it properly. So I don't know how many of you gone with the D option. So D is a dilemmatic option, like positive, maybe negative, maybe zero. You can like, I don't know how many of you answered D option, but I have given D option that you will answer it. Okay, na?
Completed, sir.
Okay. So this is the next question. A particle moves in a circle of radius 1 centimeter at a speed is given by v is equal to 2t. Then magnitude of acceleration of the particle at time is equal to 1 second. See, magnitude of acceleration they're asking. Now, what is the speed value? Speed value is variable. See once the speed is increasing. Understood? First, you need to understand what are the given quantities. Particle moving in a circle of radius has given 1, and speed is given by v is equal to 2t. 2t means as the time value increases, what happens to speed value? Speed increases. Whenever speed increases, what acceleration will be there? Tangential acceleration also will be there, right? So then what is the tangential acceleration? Centripetal acceleration we can find out. Okay, so first always think about tangential acceleration so that we can conclude the question in best way. Now, what the tangential acceleration I can write down? dv by dt, because they have given the speed as a function of time. Or else you can write down r alpha. Tangential acceleration you can write down as r alpha. Or else if any forces are given, see what is the force acting along the tangent by mass will give you what? Tangential acceleration. Okay. Yeah. So what is the tangential acceleration I can write down? d by dt of what is the v value is equal to? V value is equal to 2t. Then 2 will come out. Okay. And d by dt of t is 1. So finally what the tangential acceleration is? Tangential acceleration is 2 meter per second square. This is the tangential acceleration. But what is the centripetal acceleration? Centripetal acceleration is nothing but v square by r. Now they're asking the total acceleration of the particle at time is equal to 1 second. That means we have to find out the speed value at one second only. Then what is the speed value at 1 second? At time is equal to 1 second. The speed is how much? 2 meter per second. Then centripetal acceleration is equal to 2 square by what is the radius? Radius is 1. Then you will get 4 meter per second square. That is what? Centripetal acceleration. Understood? So centripetal acceleration depends on speed. Speed depends on the time. That's why they're asking the total acceleration at time is equal to 1 second. So in the circular path, at time is equal to 1 second. At time is equal to 1 second, let us say. What are the accelerations? Centripetal acceleration I know. I know the tangential acceleration. Tangential acceleration is constant acceleration. It does not depend on the time. But centripetal acceleration depends on the speed. So speed changes with the time. So centripetal acceleration also changes. Magnitude, I mean. Even direction also change. Direction is always towards the center. Then what is the net acceleration I can write down? Root of AC square plus AT square. Okay, na? So this is the net acceleration. So net acceleration I can write down as root of AC square. What is the AC value? 4. 4 square plus AT value 2. 2 square. Okay, na? So net acceleration will become how much? Root of this is 20. Can we keep in this way? Yes. This is centimeter as given. Centimeter per second. So everything is in centimeter only. Time is in second. So this is not meter, centimeter, sorry. These are centimeters. So centimeter per second square. Root 20. C is the answer. Okay, na? Okay. Understood this thing? Finished? Now V also centimeter per second. V is also in centimeter per second. Na? Everything is centimeter per second. All are given in centimeter per second only. C is just unit only given. This one, you can change it. All are in centimeter per second. Write down everything is in centimeter per second. Sometimes you have to see the units also.
Sir, completed, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one. See, these are more than one option questions. This is the first question for more than one option. A particle is revolving in a circle with increasing speed uniformly. See, I have given one question that is increasing speed. But here, increasing speed uniformly. Increasing speed uniformly. Okay, so I tell you that thing. Which of the following is not a constant quantity? So out of all this, what is the not constant quantity? Speed is first of all increasing. Speed is increasing, am I right? Speed increases. as speed increases, so can I say that centripetal acceleration magnitude increases, even direction also changes. That means it's not a constant quantity, centripetal acceleration, because v square by r, as the speed value increases, centripetal acceleration magnitude increases, but centripetal acceleration anyway it's not constant, even magnitude is constant because direction keep on changes. Centripetal acceleration direction keep on changes, not constant. Let us see the tangential acceleration. Okay, na? So what the tangential acceleration is? Actually, see, tangential acceleration is nothing but what I can write down. I can write down that dv by dt. Am I right? Now see here, speed is increasing uniformly. What is the meaning of uniformly? The rate is constant. Whenever rate is constant, increases in uniformly, means equal increase in equal time intervals. For every 1 second, the increase is same. That's called as uniformly. Uniform meaning in this question, I mean. Okay, now uniformly increasing means suppose in 1 day 10 rupees are increasing. Means every day how much is the increase? 10 rupees only. That's called as uniform increase. Increasing uniformly. Okay, na? So the rate is same. That means this value will become constant. Am I right or not? So tangential acceleration is constant in magnitude, not in direction. Okay. And angular acceleration. What the angular acceleration is? Angular acceleration is alpha, no? Angular acceleration is alpha. So alpha is nothing but I can write down AT by R. Alpha, again magnitude I'm talking about. Alpha is the magnitude, AT by R. Tangential acceleration by R. Tangential acceleration is equal to R alpha. I think you remember the formula. Tangential acceleration is equal to R alpha. So then AT value is constant. Constant by radius is again constant. Radius is a constant quantity. So then alpha magnitude is constant. Alpha is magnitude is constant. At the same time, see, if a body is revolving with angular velocity omega in clockwise sense, understood? If it is rotating in clockwise sense, then what is the omega direction? Omega direction is inward. So I think you remember this part. Omega direction is inward. When omega is increasing, do you remember? When omega is increasing, in the theory I explained. As omega is increasing, what is the alpha direction? Alpha direction also same. Alpha direction also inward. So direction of alpha is inward and magnitude is constant. That means this is the constant quantity. Understood? Then what about the angular velocity? So as the speed is increasing, angular velocity increases because v is equal to r omega, no? V is equal to what? R omega. So its speed is increasing. R omega value also increases because r is constant. So angular velocity increases, but direction is same. Direction is constant. Direction constant, here magnitude is increasing. So angular velocity is not a constant quantity. But angular acceleration, magnitude is constant, even direction also constant. Direction and magnitude both are same for alpha. So this is constant quantity, and tangential acceleration is constant in magnitude but variable in direction. So I don't know what answers I have given. I think the answer should be A, B and D. A, B, D should be the answer. I don't know what answers are given. I forgot. So I doubt about a tangential acceleration. Tangential acceleration given answer ABD. Hari sir, the answer ఏంటి ABD ఇచ్చానా ఇంకేమైనా ఇచ్చానా గుర్తులేదు నాకు ఏమి ఇచ్చాను. Okay, so తర్వాత వెరిఫై చేయండి. ABD should be the answer. ABD should be the answer. See, this is variable in magnitude. Magnitude and direction changes. Okay, na? So here direction changes. Magnitude remains same. Here it is constant quantity. Direction does not change, even magnitude also does not change. Angular velocity, magnitude changes. Direction remains same. So hope you understood, all of you. Okay. So actually, I don't know what answer I've given, whether I kept the tangential acceleration or not, I don't know. So everybody only given, huh? Okay, very good. Okay. All of you understood? Huh? Any doubt in this? Check magnitude and direction. So mostly the theory questions are always we'll go mistake. Huh? Okay. So everybody should be careful. Everybody means including me also. Okay. Because sometimes if it is a mathematical equation, we'll get two equation, we'll solve, we'll get the answer. That's okay. But in theory question, what will happen if you are not thinking properly? If you are leaving some quantity, then that option you won't take. So that's what I got doubt with the tangential acceleration. Suppose if you see only magnitude, then you will take the tangential acceleration is a constant quantity. When you are involving direction, then only it is variable. Am I right or not? Okay. See, this is the centripetal acceleration, and this is the, let us say, tangential acceleration. As the particle has gone to here, then centripetal acceleration direction changes, tangential acceleration direction also changes. Means these two never be constant quantities. Tangential acceleration and centripetal acceleration never be constant quantities. Why? Because their direction keep on changes, even though they are constant in magnitude. Okay, wrote down. So let us go for next question.
Completed, sir.
Okay. This is directly theory question, which is conical pendulum. Okay, na? So mg is acting. This angle is theta. Already I have given all quantities in the question. Theta only. This is tension force. Then what are the components I can write down? T cos theta. The other component is T sin theta. Okay. But they have given, see, this is the omega value. Revolutions per second is given. Revolutions per second. So that means what? Omega is equal to 2 by pi, I think so. Yes, 2 by pi revolution per second. So 2 by pi, what the revolution means? 2 pi radians by second. Am I right? So then omega value will become 4 radian per second. Omega should be always in terms of radian per second. Radian per second is the unit for omega. Okay, na? So omega should be radian per second while calculating things. It should not be in revolution per second. Revolution per minute also. It should not be in RPM also. Sometimes in the question they will give you RPM. What is the meaning of RPM? Revolutions per minute. Then you have to convert into radian per second. So that is omega value. Okay. So then we can go for other things. What we have to find out? Tension in the string we have to find out. And angle value also we have to find out. Angle and tension in the string. So let us write down the equations. T sin theta is equal to, already I think you remember the conical pendulum, mr omega square, where r is the radius. Okay, this is the r. R is the radius, omega is the angular velocity with which it is rotating. And T cos theta should be equal to, mg. T cos theta is acting upward, mg is acting downward. This is standard equations for conical pendulum. Now if I am dividing, then I can go for angle. Okay, na? Or else we can find out the tension value also. Okay, let us see. I think R value will cancel out. Okay, na? I'll take the first equation, which is T sin theta. T sin theta is equal to mr omega square. So T sin theta is equal to m into, what is the R value? See, this length is L, no? Something like this. See, this is L, this is R, this angle is theta. So it's a triangle, no, perpendicular triangle. R is the opposite side, L is the hypotenuse. Then opposite side can be written as L sin theta into omega square. R value we can write down L sin theta, or else you write down sin theta is equal to R by L, opposite side by hypotenuse. L sin theta is equal to R. That one I wrote down here. Okay, na? So sin theta will cancel out. Then what is the tension acting? ml omega square. So directly you can find out the tension value. What the mass is given? 100 grams. 100 grams means 0.1 kg. So then we'll get in newtons. L value is 1 meter MKS unit, omega value is 4 square, then 0.1 into 16, then 1.6 Newton. That is the tension value. Okay, na? So A should be the answer. Then theta value you have to find out. Once you know the tension value, you can go for theta value. How? Theta value by using T cos theta is equal to mg. They have given cos inverse, sin inverse also. Let us say T cos theta is equal to mg. So I think in the T cos theta is equal to mg, we can calculate the things. 1.6 cos theta is equal to, this is what? Mass value 0.1 kg, 100 grams. It's a 0.1 kg into how much? 10. Then cos theta is equal to 1 by 1.6 is nothing but 10 by 16, which is cos theta is equal to 5 by 8. Easy one only. Okay. Then theta is equal to cos inverse 5 by 8. As it is cos inverse 5 by 8, it should not be sin inverse 5 by 8. Okay. Sometimes you have to verify more than one option. No, they have given cos inverse. No, they'll give the sin inverse of something. Okay, na cos theta we know, sin theta we can find out, no, root of 1 minus cos square theta. Okay, so that also sometimes they'll give you in terms of sign to test your ability to go for next option or not. Okay, na? So you have to verify the sin inverse also value. But here given sin inverse 5 by 8, cos inverse 5 by 8 won't be equal to sin inverse 5 by 8. So obviously you can leave that option. If any other number is there, please verify it. Then that option also can be correct. Okay, hope everybody solved this question, because in the theory we discussed conical pendulum. Okay, finished. Okay.
Completed, sir.
Very good. So let us go for next part. If a body is revolving with a constant speed along the circular path, so now body is revolving with a constant speed. What is the meaning of constant speed? Constant speed means, so by this time you need to understand tangential acceleration is 0. So its angular velocity directed along the axis of revolution. Am I right or not? So already we discussed. Suppose that see, this is the object revolving. In what sense you can take anything clockwise sense? Let us say particle is revolving in clockwise sense. Then what is the axis of rotation? This is the axis of rotation. This is the axis of rotation. Okay, axis of rotation is perpendicular to board. Then how the omega direction is? Omega direction. So if you curl your fingers, then omega direction will be into the board. So axis perpendicular to board, omega is into the board. Omega and alpha should be always along the axis of rotation. Let us say you can take one particle is revolving in this way, horizontally, something like this. And this is the axis. Around the axis it is rotating. It is rotating in this way. Then what is the omega direction? Omega direction will be along the axis of rotation. Okay, na? So from this, what you can understand that omega direction alpha along axis of rotation, always. Maybe upward or downward, but it is along the axis of rotation, something like this. So this is the axis, let us say, particle is revolving in this way or in this way. Okay, na? In any sense you can take. So then if you are curling in this way, omega will be upward. If it is rotating in this way, then omega will be downward. But in both the cases, omega direction is along the axis of rotation. So in the direction of omega, alpha will be there when omega is increasing. Opposite direction to the omega, alpha will be there if omega is decreasing. Okay, na? So that means omega and alpha is always along the axis of rotation. Clear? Then, if the direction of velocity is reversed, then centripetal force does not change in magnitude and direction. See, it is rotating, particle is rotating in this way with velocity v. Then what the centripetal force is? Centripetal force is Fc, which is equal to what I can write down. Fc is equal to mv square by r magnitude, and direction is towards the center. Now, if I reverse the velocity in the same circular path, reverse the velocity, still centripetal force is in this way only, because it is going in circular path. It is going in the same circular path, centripetal force in the same direction, and what the magnitude is? mv square by r. Okay, na? Even if you reverse the velocity, centripetal force does not change in magnitude and direction. Clear? Because centripetal force will act towards the center, which is equal to mv square by r. Just velocity direction is reversed. Same circular path, only velocity direction is reversed. If the direction of velocity reversed, the centripetal force does not change in magnitude, but the direction changes. No, direction does not change, and magnitude also does not change. Its velocity changes due to change in direction. Obviously, this we know already. So as the particle is moving, velocity keep on changes, but magnitude remains same, speed remains same. Velocity changing because of what? Direction changes only. Okay, na? So I have given actually this question for A option. Angular velocity and alpha. Angular velocity direction and alpha direction. So you should have a better clarity on the directions. Omega and alpha both will be along the axis of rotation. Okay. Okay, understood? If you have question paper, once verify it.
Completed, sir.
Okay. Next, in circular motion, V bar is the velocity vector, A bar is the acceleration vector, and R bar is instantaneous position vector, and P bar is momentum vector, omega bar is angular velocity of the particle. All vectors are given. So by looking at the question can be anything. You can say that P bar is equal to what? M into V bar. Momentum vector is equal to mass into velocity only, na? P bar is equal to M into V bar. That means P bar and V bar should be in the same direction. This is the first conclusion by looking at the question. So not only this question, not only circular motion, anywhere whenever you are talking about linear momentum should have the same direction of velocity. Otherwise, there is no meaning for linear momentum, because linear momentum is defined by using the mass into velocity. Okay, na? So this is the one thing. Next, as the particle is going in a circular path, so particle is here. Then what is the position vector? This is the r bar. And what is the velocity vector? Velocity vector will be tangential. So I told you r bar and velocity both should be perpendicular always. And how the omega bar? Let us say it is rotating in this way. Then omega will be into the board. Omega bar is into the board. These are on the board and this is into the board, perpendicular board. Means omega bar, r bar, v bar, all are mutually perpendicular vectors. I told you already in the theory. Are mutually perpendicular vectors. See, a little change I made here. V bar direction, P bar direction same, no? V bar and P bar both are in the same direction only. So this is the P bar direction. Let us say this is the P bar direction. So if V bar, R bar, omega bar are mutually perpendicular vectors, then P bar, R bar, omega bar are also mutually perpendicular vectors, because V bar direction and P bar direction same. So this option also will be correct. In the place of V bar, you can keep P bar, because V bar direction, P bar direction is same. Next, r bar cross v bar is 0 and r bar cross omega bar is 0. See, actually all these are what? Perpendicular vectors. As perpendicular vectors, which product will be 0? Dot product will be 0, not cross. So leave this part. Okay, na? R bar dot v bar 0, r bar dot omega bar 0, because all are mutually perpendicular vectors. Dot product goes to 0 because they will have the angle 90. Okay. So everybody should have very good knowledge on all vectors.
Hello, sir.
Vasu.
Sir, Sai Charan, sir.
Sai Charan cheppu.
Sir, option D, how come, sir?
Option?
D.
B,
D for Delhi. Yeah,
Delhi.
yes, sir.
Okay. R bar and V bar both are perpendicular kada. R bar and V bar perpendicular kada. Perpendicular stands for what? R bar dot V bar is nothing but R into V into cos 90 kada. Perpendicular vectors dot product is 0 because cos 90 is 0, so it is 0. A bar dot B bar, AB cos theta. If A bar and B bar are perpendicular vectors, dot product will be 0. Okay, that's a standard result, standard rule. So R bar dot V bar, R bar and V bar both are perpendicular. R bar is radial, V bar is tangential. What is the angle between them is 90. And omega bar is into the board. Then R bar and omega bar perpendicular. Okay, na? Marker. You can see this one. R bar and omega bar. R bar and omega bar perpendicular. Even V bar and omega bar also perpendicular. All are mutually perpendicular vectors. Something like an I cap, J cap, K cap. Mutually perpendicular.
Understand, sir.
Understood? Okay, good. So I cap dot J cap dot K cap dot I cap is equal to 0. Okay. Yeah. So next question. Done, all of you? So let us go with the next question. This, a simple pendulum of length L, mass M, is oscillating in a plane about a vertical line between angular limits -5 and +5. So this question I have given only to test your vertical circular motion. Okay, vertical circular motion already I told, oscillation part. Okay, na? It's something like this. See, there is a simple pendulum. Okay, na? Simple pendulum is oscillating what? +5, -5. Understood? -5 means one direction, +5 means other direction. This is one extreme position, this is other extreme position. For angular displacement theta, which is less than 5. For an angular displacement of theta, which is less than 5, then they're asking what are the relations. Okay, na? So something like this. This is the simple pendulum, and this is the equilibrium position, and this is the pendulum now. What is the angle it is rotated? Theta, which is less than 5. Theta is less than 5. Means it is in motion. Okay, na? Something here. Pendulum is something here. Maybe it will have velocity downward, or maybe it is having the velocity upward. You can take velocity anyway. I'm taking the velocity upward. So do you remember this part? And mass of the pendulum is m. Then mg will act vertically downward, and tension will act along the string. This angle is theta. Okay, let us go with this thing. We'll go for components of mg. So if I extend this line, what is this angle is theta? Then I can make into components mg cos theta. What is the other component is mg sin theta. Do you remember this? We have done already. Okay. Mg cos theta and mg sin theta. Then what is the net force acting towards the center? T minus mg cos theta is equal to mv square by L. Then what is the tangential acceleration or tangential force? Tangential force is mg sin theta. Even I was saying this part. Tangential force is equal to mg sin theta. So then what is the tangential acceleration I can write down? Tangential force by mass, which will give you g sin theta. So I told you, because of this force, the speed decreases. Okay, na? Because of this force, speed will increase also. In this journey, while going away, speed decreases. While coming towards, speed increases because of tangential force. So what are the things you can write down? T minus mg cos theta is equal to mv square by L. Okay, na? And magnitude of tangential acceleration. See, magnitude of tangential acceleration of bob is g sin theta. And t is equal to mg cos theta. T cos theta is equal to mg. Not the answers. Okay. Because vertically some acceleration will be there. All of you okay with this? So pendulum is in between. So until I have not given the diagram because you need to imagine the diagram sometimes in physics. And whenever I give question paper, usually this type of questions will be there without diagram. I'll explain the question. Question will explain everything, but diagram won't be there. Diagram you need to imagine. So this will improve your imagination part in the examination. Okay.
Sir, answers AC given, sir.
ఏమండి
Answer AC given, sir.
ఆన్సర్ ఏఎన్సీనా?
Yes, sir.
ఒకసారి చెక్ చేయరా సాయి చర్ నువ్వేనా?
No, sir. Vasu, sir.
వాసు ఏఎన్సీయా?
Yes, sir. AC given, sir.
షుడ్ బి బిఎన్సీ రా. ఏ కాదు, ఏ కాదు. ఏ షుడ్ నాట్ బి ద ఆన్సర్. ఓకేనా? టీ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ ఎంజీ
sir.
కాస్ట్ కాకూడదు. టీ కాస్ట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ ఎంజీ కాకూడదు.
We'll get the add score, sir.
వర్టికల్ గా యాక్సిలరేషన్ ఉంటుంది. దెర్ ఈస్ ఎ వర్టికల్ యాక్సిలరేషన్ ఆల్సో. వర్టికల్ యాక్సిలరేషన్ సి ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఇన్ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం. యూ షుడ్ నాట్ రైట్ డౌన్ లైక్ దిస్. సో ఐ డోంట్ నో. సో మేబీ వెరిఫికేషన్ లో తప్పై ఉండొచ్చు. సో టీ కాస్ట్ ఇట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ ఎంజీ అని రాయకూడదు. ఓకే, టీ కాస్ట్ ఇట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎంజీ షుడ్ నాట్ బి ద ఆన్సర్. Okay, why? Because see, there will be some acceleration component. There can be acceleration upward or downward. Acceleration will have some direction. No, this is tangential and centripetal acceleration. So this is the net acceleration. So this net acceleration will have some component. Net acceleration vertical component is ay. Then I can write down t cos theta minus mg is equal to, how to write down, m into ay. Okay, na? If ay is 0, then t cos theta is equal to mg. Otherwise, t cos theta won't be. B cos, t cos theta minus mg should be equal to m into ay. Okay, na?
Hello, sir.
ఎవరది?
Sir, Sai Charan, sir.
సాయం చెప్పమ్మా.
Sir, D కూడా వస్తుందంట సార్.
ఏది?
D కూడా వస్తుంది కదా సార్.
డి ఎందుకు వస్తుందా? mg cos theta నా? v ఉంటుంది కదా, వెలాసిటీ ఇచ్చారు కదరా. వెలాసిటీ 0 అయితే t mg cos theta వస్తుంది. ఎప్పుడు 5 అయితే, యాంగిల్ 5 అయితే. ఓకే. అరే క్వశ్చన్ నెంబర్ 10 నేను బీసీ ఇచ్చారా ఆన్సర్? హరి సార్ బీసీ ఇచ్చా ఆన్సర్. మారిపోయిందా మీరు కీ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు?
BC only, sir.
మరి ఏసీ అని చెప్పి వాసు.
I will check, sir, whether in the key AC may be printed. BC only answer, sir.
అదే బీసీ నేను ఇచ్చిన కీ బీసీ ఇచ్చా, ఏసీ మారిపోయింది.
Yes, sir, I check.
ఓకే. అదే యూజువల్గా ఐ వెరిఫైడ్ అండ్ గివెన్.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Once check in physics, not in maths. Don't confuse maths with physics, sir. Hey, physics is their middle. Somebody checking top.
Okay, sir. Not confused, sir. Like that only told.
I check like key is there with me. Sai Charan is absent, sir. Wanted exam extra day.
Sai Charan absent ah?
Sir, 2 hours.
He came in time, but he did not attend for examination.
ఎందుకురా ఎగ్జామ్ రాయపడండి అసలు సి యు ఆర్ నేను ఎప్పటి నుంచి చెప్తున్నా యూ పీపుల్ ఆర్ ప్రిపేరింగ్ ఫర్ రైటింగ్ ఎగ్జామ్ ఓన్లీ ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ నాట్ రైటింగ్ ఎగ్జామ్ మీన్స్ యువర్ ప్రిపరేషన్ ఇస్ వేస్ట్ రైట్ ఓకే సో రైట్ డౌన్ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ వాట్ ఎవర్ బి ద మార్క్స్ యు ఆర్ గెటింగ్ నో ఫర్గెట్ అబౌట్ ఇట్ దాని
Yesterday, I saw the question paper, sir.
అన్ని వద్దురా నువ్వు క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ 100 సార్లు చేయి నాకు అనవసరం ఎగ్జామినేషన్
Exam
చేస్తాను
not attend, sir.
అదే అంటున్నారా ఎగ్జామ్ లో నువ్వు ఎంత చేసావు అదే ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఎగ్జామ్
I came to hostel, sir, on that time only. On the time exam going on, sir.
ఎప్పుడైనా పర్వాలేదురా లాస్ట్ 5 minutes అయినా ఎగ్జామ్ రాయి కూర్చొని ఏం కాదు
Okay, sir.
లాస్ట్ 5 minutes కూర్చొని ఎగ్జామ్ రాయాలి 1 or 2 క్వశ్చన్స్ సాల్వ్ చేయి
Okay, sir.
గెట్ 10 marks 5 సార్ అప్పుడు చెప్పాలి సార్ ఐ రోట్ ఓన్లీ 5 minutes బట్ ఐ గోట్ 10 marks అంటే నేను 60 minutes రాసి ఉంటే నాకు ఐ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ గాట్ 60 marks అని చెప్పాలి అప్పుడు టీచర్స్ కూడా ఏమనలేరు కదా
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
లాజికల్గా ఆలోచించు ఓకే
Next time, nice lyrics.
ఓకే గుడ్ వెరీ గుడ్
Okay, sir.
యా డి ఆప్షన్ రాదు అర్థమైంది కదా డి సాయి చరణ్ డి వోంట్ కమ్ నెక్స్ట్ ఇంటిజర్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఈవెన్ దిస్ క్వశ్చన్ ఐ థింక్ సమ్వేర్ we discussed in theory a spotlight S rotates in a horizontal plane with a constant angular velocity 0.0 radian per second. The spot of light P moves along the wall, something like this. See, this is the wall. Do you remember this question? We done in the class. Okay, now this is the torch. Let us say this is the spot on the wall. Okay, now this is the light source. Then how it is rotated? It is rotating with angular velocity omega, which is 0.1 radian per second. So then perpendicular distance is 30 meter. This length is how much? 30 meter. Then we have to find out the velocity of the spot. This velocity of the spot when angle is 45. When theta is 45, we have to find out the velocity of the spot. So v value, how to write down the v value? So let us say this distance I'm taking as y. If this distance is y, what is the v value I can write down? V value we can write down dy by dt. Change in y by change in time will give you velocity of the spot. Then what is the y, theta and 30 relation? See, we have some triangle like this. This is theta, this is y, this is 30 meter. Then what is the relation I can write down? Tan theta is equal to y by 30. Okay, na? So it will, this I have done in theory part also. Y is equal to 30 tan theta. Then what is the dy by dt? Now derive it. Dy by dt is equal to 30 constant tan theta secant square theta into d theta by dt. 30 secant square theta into d theta by dt. Then what is the dy by dt is nothing but velocity of the spot. Okay, now or speed of the spot you can say is equal 30 into secant square theta. Then what is the d theta by dt stands for? Change of angle. Will give you angular velocity omega. Now write down all the values. When we want to find out the speed of the spot, when angle is 45, so I can write down 30 into secant square 45 into angular velocity 0.1. So secant 45 cos 45 is 1 by root 2, secant 45 is root 2 square 2 0.1. So finally it is 6 meter per second in MKS unit. Okay, na? So I think 4 questions left. We solve them later, okay? Okay, write down, and remaining 4 questions we discuss. Once you also see remaining 4 questions. If you have any doubt in the question, I will solve tomorrow. Let me know. So tomorrow is what, 30? Today is 30. No, today 29th. Tomorrow will be 30.
Still 5 minutes will take, sir, for 9th class. Still is there in another class.
Okay. So then we'll continue.
Continue, sir. Yes.
Okay. So people wrote down this question. Then we'll go for next question.
Completed, sir.
Okay, good. So there is a vertical semicircular wire of radius 2.5 meter placed on horizontal ground. See, horizontal ground, this wire is vertical. This wire is in vertical plane. Huh? What is the radius of the vertical circle? I mean, vertical circular wire is 2.5 meter. 2.5 meter is the radius. Now, an insect of mass 5 grams is moving on the wire with constant speed, root 5 meter per second. Then what is the normal reaction on insect at the highest point? So they're asking the normal reaction of the insect. See, this is the insect, let us say. Then what the normal reaction will be? Normal reaction will be away from the surface on the insect. Normal reaction will be away from the surface wire on the insect. I'm talking about on the insect. And weight of the insect will act downward, but it is having the constant speed v. Then it is under circular motion, no? Circular motion. We can write down the centripetal force. Then what is the centripetal force is? What is the centripetal force? Centripetal force is equal to, I can write down, mg minus n. Mg is acting towards the center. Normal reaction is acting away from the center, which is equal to mv square by r radius. Okay, na? Weight is acting towards the center. Normal reaction is acting away from the center. V is the speed. So I can write down the centripetal force. We require the normal reaction value. That only they are asking. So then mg minus normal reaction is equal to mv square by r. Let us write down all the values if you want. Otherwise, okay. Normal reaction is equal to what I can write down? mg minus mv square by r. Okay, normal reaction is on that side, mv square by r on this side. So normal reaction is equal to m into g minus v square by r. I told you I'm against to writing the numbers. First I'll simplify and then I write down the numbers. So normal reaction is equal to, what is the mass is 5 grams, but force has given in newtons, mks. This is CGS. Then 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg. Mass value I wrote in terms of mks. And g value in terms of mk is 10, v square root 5 meter per second. This is mks unit only, so it is 5 by, what is the r value? What is the radius has given? 2.5. So it is 2.5. So the finally what you will get, 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 into this is 10 minus 2, 8. 10 minus 2, okay, 8. So it will become 40. So that only they are asking, 5 into 8 into 10 raised to minus 3 Newton. So what should be the answer? N value should be equal to 8. Okay, na?
Hello, sir. Answer 3 given.
Answer 3 given, huh? Should not be 3.
Sir.
Okay, answer 3 given. It should be 8, huh? Okay. Should be 8. Once we'll verify. This is 10 only, na? This is v square is root 5, huh? Okay. Yeah, 5 by 2.5 to 8. It should be 8, not 3. So you can go for add score for this. If you are writing the 8, if you are keeping the 8, you can go for add score. Huh? So need a 3 each. V square by r, kada? Yes. It's 5, n is given now. Okay. It should be 8. Huh? Okay, na? It should be 8. Change the key. Not 3. Meek everyone 8 vaste, you can add your score. Okay, na? Wrote down, na?
Completed, sir.
Okay. So this is next question. I think this question I have given in the what do you say that assignment also somewhere. Small block of mass 10 gram is fastened to a one end of the light string, and second block of M2 20 grams. So this is 20 grams M2 and M1 is what 10 grams. Actually M1 M2 not required, you can directly do it also. So let us say that what is the tension as given. What is the T1? Tension in the string portion between the blocks is T2. Between the blocks is T2. So this is T2. T2 and this is also T2 and this will be T1. Okay, now M1 is rotating. M1 is rotating in circular path, even M2 also rotating in circular path. So on M1, what is the force acting towards the center? T2 only. So I can write down. So T2 is equal to M1 into, what is the radius? Radius is 2L into omega square, I can write down. M1 into radius of the, radius of the M1 circular path. M1 is revolving in a radius of what? 2L. 2L is radius. And what the angular velocity is omega. So T2L is equal to M1 into 2L into omega square. And what is the centripetal force acting on M2? If I'm talking about M2 object, T1 is acting towards the center, T2 is acting away from the center, then centripetal force acting on M2. M2 is, what I can write down, centripetal force is equal to T1 minus T2 is equal to T1 minus T2. Don't go for only T1. I think that is the mistake people have done maybe. T1 minus T2. T1 is acting towards the center, T2 is acting away from the center. Okay, so T1 minus T2 will be the net centripetal force. That should be equal to mass M2 into L into omega square. Both will rotate with the same angular velocity because both are revolving with the same circular path, same way. Both will rotate by same angle. See, both will rotate by same angle, something like this. Angle rotated same. So angular velocity will be same, not linear velocity. If you are taking the linear velocity same, again that's a mistake. Okay, na? Then what is the T1 value I can write down? T1 value I can write down T2 plus M2 into L omega square. Now how the M1 M2? M2 mass is 20 grams. This is 20 grams and M1 mass is 10 grams. M1 is 10 grams, no? M2 is 20 grams. So what I can write down? I can write down that M2 is equal to 2 times of M1 or else 10, 20 also you can write down, your choice. So you can do anyway, your choice. Then T1 is equal to what I can write down? T2L is 2 M1L omega square plus M2L omega square. In the place of M2, 2 M1 I can write down. In the place of M2, if I'm writing the 2 M1, then T1 is equal to, I'll write down 2 M1. If I'm writing here, it will be 4 M1L omega square. This is the T1 value. And what the T2L is? M1 2 M1L omega square. So then ultimately T1 by T2 is equal to, T1 by T2 is equal to 4 M1L omega square by 2 M1L omega square. So you will get T1 by T2 is equal to how much? 2. Okay.
Hari sir. Hari sir.
What, sir?
Sir, 9th class students came, sir.
Not in your room. Wait.
They came to our room.
Your room,
Yes, sir.
I'll ask sir to play. Give another room.
Hari sir.
Sachar Nevendra.
Hari sir.
Continue, sir. Last 2 problems. Sir?
Last 2 problems. Inka 2 problems nice.
Okay, you complete and come to the class, sir. Up to now, they will settle down.
Okay. No issue. Yeah, finished this part. So ratio will get 2. Centripetal force idea only, but here this is important idea, M2. On M2 centripetal force is T1 minus T2. This is an important idea. So if you leave the T2, then your answer will change. You have to consider T2 also, because T2 is the force acting on M2. Okay, let us go to the next question. Okay, na? Okay, let's go for next question. A particle is moving in a circle of radius 1 meter with initial speed 3 meter per second. It starts retarding, a retardation of constant magnitude. Okay, now this is the retardation. Find the number of revolutions they're asking. Number of revolution means we have to find out the theta value. Angular displacement we have to find out. For angular displacement, see already has given radius and what the initial speed is. Initial speed is 3 meter per second. Initial speed is 3 meter per second. Okay, na? So then what is the initial angular velocity? V naught by R, 3 by 1. So 3 radian per second is the initial angular velocity. Initial angular velocity. Okay. Next. With a retardation of constant magnitude, this is the retardation, means it's a tangential acceleration or tangential retardation you can say, which is meter per second square. So tangential retardation is how much? 9 by 4 pi. 9 by 4 pi. Okay, no? Tangential retardation. So then what is the tangential acceleration? Alpha is equal to, or tangential retardation anyway you can write down. So 80 by r, which is r value is 1. So we'll get 9 by 4 pi only, which is radian per second square. Okay, no? Radian per second square. But they're asking for what is the number of revolutions in 8 pi by 3. 8 pi by 3, what do you say that, seconds. So first of all, I want to see that at what time angular velocity will become 0. See, initially it is starting with some angular velocity. Particle will started with angular velocity omega naught. Okay, na? Retardation is alpha. Means speed and acceleration both are in opposite direction. So speed keep on decreases. Now I want to see that in what time it will become 0, omega value. So omega is equal to omega naught minus alpha t I can write down. I want to see that when particle is coming to rest. So omega value 0, omega naught is how much? 3 minus alpha value 4 by 9 by 4 pi into time. Then what the time value is equal? Time value is equal to what I can write down? 4 pi by 9 into 3. Okay, or else you want me to write down one more term. Okay, I'll write down one more term. 3 is equal to 9 by 4 pi into t. Then what the time value is equal to? 4 pi by 3 seconds. See, in time 4 pi by 3 seconds it is coming to rest instantaneously, not permanently. Again it will go in other round. See, this is 8 pi by 3. This is 4 pi by 3. This is 8 pi by 3. So in 4 pi by 3 seconds it is coming to rest, but they are asking in 8 pi by 3, double of this time. That means what? See, suppose that it is revolving in clockwise sense. So it will go in clockwise sense till what time? Till 4 pi by 3 it will go in clockwise sense. So remaining, still acceleration will act, no force will act. So in remaining time it will rotate in anti-clockwise sense, opposite sense. That is the important thing. Getting my point or not? Clearer? Till 4 pi by 3 it go in clockwise sense suppose. Then 4 pi by 3 to 8 pi by 3 time it will go in opposite sense. In anti-clockwise sense it will go. Because omega value will become negative after that. After this time, see, this is the time at which omega is 0. After this time, what happens to omega value? Omega value will become negative. So that's why what we do is, we'll find out number of, angle rotated. Angle rotated, which is omega naught t minus half alpha t square. Okay, this is the equation, angular displacement equation. So now I'm finding omega naught into in time of 4 pi by 3 only. In time of 4 pi by 3, I'm calculating. Getting my point? So time value is 4 pi by 3 minus alpha value. Alpha is how much? 9 by 4 pi. Alpha value is 9 by 4 pi only, na? Yes. 9 by 4 pi into 4 pi by 3 whole square. Okay, na? So theta is equal to omega naught is how much? 3. 3 into 4 pi by 3 minus this is half into 9 by 4 pi. This is 4 pi by 3 whole square. So 9 cancel out. 4 pi whole square by 4 pi. So we'll get 1 4 pi here. Then theta value is equal to 4 pi minus 2 pi. That means theta is equal to 2 pi radians. Theta is equal to 2 pi radians. That means 1 revolution. Okay, na? Because 2 pi radians is 1 revolution. Na? So this is the 1 revolution till what time? Till 4 pi by 3 time. But we require 8 pi by 3. So in 8 pi by 3, it will make 1 more revolution. If you want, you can check. From here, from 4 pi by 3 seconds to 8 pi by 3 seconds, if you calculate, now initial angular velocity is 0. Then theta is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square. Little you should have the kinematics idea. Then only you can do that. This is 0 plus half alpha into what the alpha value is equal to 9 by 4 pi. Time value is, what is the remaining time? 4 pi by 3 whole square. Understood? The entire journey I broke into 2 parts. One is retarding part, other one is accelerating part. So here angular velocity will be 0 at time is equal to 4 pi by 3. So 8 pi by 3 I separated as 4 pi by 3 and 4 pi by 3. So next 4 pi by 3 I am calculating. Then theta value will become half into, this is again 9 cancel out, 4 pi whole square by 4 pi cancel out, you will get 4 pi. Again you will get 2 pi. Then theta is equal to 2 pi radians. 1 revolution. So in first 4 pi by 3 time, 1 revolution. Next 4 pi by 3 time, 1 revolution. Total number of revolutions should be 2. Okay, na? Understood? This is logical question. If you directly solve now, you don't get. You will get 0. If you directly solve, if you are directly using the formula, theta is equal to omega naught t minus half alpha t square time value. Suppose if you are writing 8 pi by 3 directly, then you will get 0 because the particle is coming back to same position. The angular displacement is 0. So it will have positive displacement as well as negative displacement. So one it will go in clockwise sense, other it will go in anti-clockwise sense. Okay. So that's why you should be careful with omega 0 in the retardation. Okay, so I think one more question is there. I'll explain. You people try later. Okay, na? The point on a wheel rotate about its center according to the relation theta value is given. Find the magnitude of average angular acceleration. Okay, na? Average angular acceleration, average over time, starting from till the point stops. What is the meaning of average angular acceleration? Average angular acceleration is what is the average angular acceleration I can write down? Alpha value I can write down final angular velocity minus initial angular velocity by time taken. So averaged over that time till from the start till it stops. Okay, na? So we have the theta. So theta is equal to 60 minus 2 to cube. Then what is omega is equal to d theta by dt, derivative. Then 6 into time derivative 1 minus 2 into t cube derivative 3t square. Okay, na? T cube derivative is 3t square. So then what is the omega value I can write down? 6 minus 6t square. So then what is the initial angular velocity at time is equal to 0? Starting means what is the initial angular velocity? 6 radian per second. Time value 0. You keep time value 0, automatically initial angular velocity will become 6. And after what time angular velocity will be 0? Final angular velocity is 0, no? Because they are asking that till it stops. Okay, no? Final angular velocity is 0. If I am keeping 0, then 6 minus 60 square is equal to 0. Then time is equal to how much? 1 second. Time is equal to 1 second. 6 cancel out. T square is equal to 1. Okay, no? So time value is equal to 1 second. So time is equal to 1 second. Final velocity is 0. Then what the alpha value will become? Final 0 minus initial angular velocity is 6 by time taken is 1. So ultimately 6 radian per second square. Actually minus you will get because it's a retardation. Oh. So you have to go for positive value. And I'm asking for magnitude only. As it is magnitude, actually minus 6 you will get, magnitude means 6. Okay. Understood? Sir, 9th class login avana?
Sir,
Evaru?
Sir?
Vasu nuvana? Hari sir.
Sir.
9th class login అవుతున్నా.
Okay, sir.
అందరు రాసుకున్నారా? ఇది రాసుకోండి ఒకసారి ఫాస్ట్గా. So average angular acceleration, final angular velocity minus initial angular velocity by time taken. Try to understand the last statement. That's very important. They are asking the average angular acceleration till it is stops. That means what is the final angular velocity? Final angular velocity is 0. Okay. Okay, na? Yeah. So we discuss tomorrow vertical circular motion. Once revise the vertical circular motion. So I'll do that part tomorrow. Okay, na? Bye everyone.
bye, sir.